Happy New Year, everybody! What's happening here?
That is fantastic, Dave. Welcome to Survival Stream.
Vodka Dream. Oh man, you do good. You do a good. What's his name? Yosek or something like that.
What?
Yosek.
Vodka. I don't know. I actually I paused the episode. It was like, what the hell is that name?
Yeah, I know. It was funny because he's known as the Baron, the Baron, or whatever.
Baron.
Yeah, that's like his other alias. And then when I looked, when I finally heard his name, I typed it out, and then of course I looked at the credits too. I'm like, how do you? Oh, it starts with a J. Okay, yeah, duh. Of course it starts with a J. I was like, I didn't spell it like that when I wrote it in my notes. That's for sure.
Oh man, this is an episode, man.
This is an interesting. It really is because. Well, we'll talk about certain things, like certain vibes. And I was like, it was funny because it was that episode where I went, oh yeah. I was like, okay, I was remembering it. I'm like, the Cape and the Cowl, yes, I remember that. And then I remember, the twist. The twist.
What a twist. A sweet twist, by the way.
It's a good twist.
It's a good twist. It really is.
It's a good twist. Happy New Year there, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, we got Ryan. Oh, you started writing your own novel called Beyond the Plains. Cool. That's good. Cool. Yeah, that's nice. We got Mr. Fear Jason here. We got Tyler, and we got Legend. Good to see you guys. Happy New Year, guys. How was your New Year, Scott?
I was watching Witcher season 2.
So it was good.
It was good. I mean, seriously, it was like I think it was like on the 30th. I watched 4 episodes, and then we started the 5th episode, and then I think it was New Year's Eve. We watched the last half of Witcher season 2. So that
there was you go. I know I still got to watch it. I really enjoyed the first episode, but I just haven't had a chance to just sit down and just binge.
Oh, it blows. You blow through it, man.
I'm sure. Oh, that first episode, I really enjoyed that. I was like the production value and everything on that was like just everything got increased, which of course it would because the first season was a hit. So they're like, let's pump some more money into this.
Yeah, actually, and we did that after I watched the Alabama-Cincinnati game.
Oh, of course, got to watch that. How did that end, by the way?
God, I can't remember. It was very lopsided.
Right? Yeah. And before we get started, I want to thank you, Scott, because Scott got me a gift, and it's a perfect little gift right here. Oh, look at this. He got me my very own popcorn holder that is in the shape of the Ecto-1. So thank you, sir. The Ecto-1 specifically from Ghostbusters Afterlife, as you can see.
Yes.
The dirt and everything like that. Yeah.
And the lights should work too.
The lights should work too. I was like, I remember I saw the little switch thing and I forgot to check it. I forgot where the button is. I'm not even sure where the button is. See, that's how bad I am with. I'm not even sure where the button. We'll figure it out later. Where is it at? I know there was a. I don't even know. But thank you. I haven't used it for popcorn yet. You gave me popcorn as well.
I did send you popcorn.
You did do that. And I was going to do that last night, but it totally slipped my mind. And I was like, oh, shit. I could have had a nice little freaking snack out of the thing. So
the best part was when Dave sends me the picture of the baby wipes box that I sent it in.
Yeah, I open up the package and it's like baby wipes. So of course, naturally, I had to make the joke that I was like, "Hey, how did you know I needed baby wipes?" Yeah.
And I said, "Because your ass is so sensitive."
Exactly, it's very sensitive. You got to make sure you got to make sure you get all that there and everything. Oh, we're off to a great start. Like I said, it's a new year, but it's the same show, same tangents, same conversations. Gotta love it. So, and we see some people in here. Hey, we got some more people in here. Yeah, thank you. And we got Gator Girl in here too, of course. And then we got Mr. Laugh Now, Cry Later. Yeah, good to see you guys. All right, so we got this episode.
I want to start off with a piece of trivia.
Okay.
Adapted from a comic book issue.
Is it? Okay.
Detective Comics number 450 from cover date of August 1975, written by Elliot S. Magan, who wrote the teleplay for this episode. Oh, so the episode is written by the same person who wrote the comic book story it's based on.
That's good. I like that. And because this is obviously, we got Wormwood right here, and he's not exactly. We got some people in here that are not exactly people that authentic Batman type villain type people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
the original story was called The Cape and Cowl Death Trap.
Death Trap, which does make sense because that's what the Wormwood specializes in. I love how there's like a spot in here where there's like a nice little exposition from Gordon, like when
Oh yes.
when Batman's like maybe it's Wormwood, and Gordon's like, you mean the guy that does this. It's like, okay, we just got a total backstory of Wormwood. I mean, good job with that. Good job with that. Just right.
Oh
there.
my god, that first when we get to it, that first scene with Batman and Gordon, so much exposition in that scene.
So much exposition. I even put that. I put exposition dump. But you know what I mean? But what's interesting about this character, I mean, you get some Riddler vibes. You get some Enigma vibes big time.
Ooh, and I like it how he's got that nickname of the Interrogator, how he uses these death traps. Like the riddles are just what lures his victims to whatever the death trap is. And then it's just give me what I want, or I let you die. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of like a little, well, I wouldn't say jigsaw, but no, I mean, but what I thought about too is like the fact that when these people get these notes, they got, the letters are all clipped out from like magazines or newspapers.
It's the serial killer or ransom notes.
Yeah, but I mean, but it gave me Batman Forever vibes. A little bit.
You're right.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm kind of wondering, I mean, and was there, just going down that whoever, wrote Batman Forever maybe kind of thought about this episode. This is not a bet, huh?
Wasn't that Akiva Goldsman?
He was a producer. He's a producer.
Okay,
did he write it too?
I think you know what? You know what? Now you're going to make me look that up.
Yes, I'm going to make you look it up because now we got to know. I know he's producing it, and I know like he's been talking about the possibility of that Schumacher cut, which we all want to see, and we want to see what it originally was supposed to be. But I know he was a full-on producer, but
let's see. Yep, screenplay by Akiva Goldsman for the win.
Was him.
Yeah, there we go.
There it is. I know. I'm wondering if like you would think like just pull it out of the vault, put it together, polish it up, wouldn't take much, get it out there. But it's Warner Brothers. That we don't need to talk about them right now because we've been the timeline's been a mess. And I saw Gator Girl. You made a little comment about the timeline's been boring. Not lately, sadly. But anyways, I was getting Riddler vibes, of course. Because it opens up, and I love it how it opens up, and it's the amusement park at night. It's got that ambiance of somebody showing up.
It's not just an amusement park; it's a putt-putt course.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's it's like a little miniature golf course. Yeah, because this one dude that shows up, I forgot what his name was, but he basically gets stuck in some quicksand. To basically, I mean, like I said, this is what Wormwood does. He basically just lures these people in here. Like I said.
Oh, you mean like a sand trap?
One rim shot. Need that kind of drop right there. Good job. But yeah, and I love the fact that like one of the last things he says, he's all tell me what I want to hear. I hate it when people talk with a mouthful. I was like, okay.
He's snarky.
He's snarky.
The thing about Wormwood is that he's got that cultured villain kind of ambiance going with him.
He really does.
Because he sounds so snooty, which by the way, the actor who's the voice of Wormwood, I had to look this up. His name is Bud Cort. I'm not familiar with him, but two big credits that came up on his IMDb is that he was Harold in Harold and Maude.
Oh, nice.
And then he was Bill Ubel in The Life Aquatic.
I don't think I saw Life Aquatic.
I haven't seen Life Aquatic, so I thought that was a movie you would have seen, Dave.
No, I know, Mr. Film Junkie. I know sometimes I fail when it comes to what I've seen, but it's on a list probably somewhere or something.
Isn't
like that.
Wes Anderson?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's got Bill Murray and Owen Wilson, I think. Yeah, if I'm thinking of the right one, I don't know. Anyways, there's another tangent. So yeah, and then of course we get to Gordon's office. Like you said, it's a big,
it's a huge exposition dump. I also love it. This also begins Batman is sassy in this episode to Gordon.
He really is,
and I can't remember which episode it was where there was another episode earlier on where we were like, Batman's a little bit of a dick right now.
I know. I forgot which episode too, but yeah, he really kind of gives it to Gordon a little bit with these riddles. Like he's just like, "What? You don't know?"
I know. And then like when Gordon's explaining the entire story behind the bearer bonds and the relief fund, he's like, for starving refugees in Central Asia and Central Europe. Yes, I know. And it's like, whoa, okay, Batman.
He's on a good one in this episode. He definitely is. And I guess Bud Cort is a big actor from
Oh
MASH.
yes, he was
also
in the
MASH.
original film. He
The
played him
film.
in the film
Okay.
version of MASH. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so he wasn't on the TV show. But yeah, you're absolutely right, because we get like all this exposition, and then of course yeah, he is pretty damn sassy when it comes to this. And then I mean, Batman really is on a good one in this, because when he's talking about the what is it, Yosek, whatever the hell's name is.
I just call him the Baron. It's so much
Baron,
easier to say.
the Baron, yeah. The Baron, he they bring him up too. He pulls out the file and says, because they Wormwood and him have worked together. And instead of doing like just a Batman thing where maybe like when he's walking somewhere and he just like gets it, there's a banquet happening and Batman just swoops in and just grabs the dude in public.
And then like drags his face along the plates of food, so much so that the music is like this, like do 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 do, and then they animated the crowd laughing at the bear. Yeah. It's like this is a little weird.
Yeah, I'm like, Batman usually kind of does a little more subtle. This is just like, screw it. I want to get to the bottom of this right away. I know where he's at right now. I don't care that people are here. I'm just gonna grab this dude, and then of course and then he goes, hopefully you're not afraid of heights, or something like he says something.
Yeah,
like
exactly. And then of course, classic, then shoots the grappling hook up. And...
Yes. And then he's hanging the dude from his suspenders on a billboard.
He's a big dude. And
he's a big dude.
He's a big dude, and I'm concerned about those suspenders. I'm not gonna lie. Which is funny, because if you know that John Rhys Davies is the voice of the Baron, there's a little bit of a similarity between John Rhys Davies' look in real life and the way the Baron is designed. I mean, of course, people would know him. He was Sala in the Indiana Jones movies. You're not a big fantasy guy, but of course, Gimli from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, he was a dwarf. But I'm going to be honest, I think my first time seeing him was like in '93. He played Michael Malone in the Untouchables TV show.
Oh, in the TV show, wow.
Yeah, there's a syndicated TV show that ran for like 2 seasons.
Nice.
That I used to watch. And of course, also Sliders. He was the professor.
Oh, he was in Sliders. That's a show that I don't know why I didn't get into, and I always felt like I should have.
Oh,
I did get into
Dave,
it. Yeah.
It would totally be your thing.
Dude. There's a I don't know if you get this channel, but on YouTube TV, there's a channel called Comet TV, and it shows I've been like on a Quantum Leap kick, man. They've been showing like every weekday when I'm like editing, like cutting up the show, I have Quantum Leap on, and then right after that is X-Files. But they of course have like Old Outer Limits, all that stuff. And Sliders is also part of their stuff too, but it's just not when I'm watching it. So I need to visit that show, because that's right up my alley.
Oh really, man, that was that Friday night Fox Sci-Fi, one of those shows, because it even got canceled at Fox on a cliffhanger, like Fox always did back in the '90s, and then Sci-Fi saved it for like the last 2 seasons. Like they did 2 more
finish it off.
Finish it off. Yeah,
that's good. It's always good when that happens. But yeah, I'm loving that channel. And I'm like kind of wondering, like, why hasn't there not been a revival of a Quantum Leap type story? It's such a great kind of concept. It really is. Although there's been some episodes that I've watched that couldn't do now. Could not do now. I was like, whoa. I mean, some pretty episodes were like, oh yeah, I don't know if this would not work. But they were great episodes though too. That's the thing. But anyways, there's our Quantum Leap tangent. But yeah, he's hanging him by his suspenders, and then I love the fact that he tells him, he's for your health, I suggest you taking a long vacation from Gotham, which kind of sets something up.
I know, and this is where it's really hard, since we go chronologically through the episode, but that really does help set up the twist at the end, because the next time we see Wormwood, he's come to the Baron's penthouse, and the Baron is acting like he wants revenge, basically, for being insulted by the Batman. Of course, I think it's hilarious that he throws him basically like a 24 by 36 poster of Batman. I'm like, dude, that
merchandise.
I'm just like, well, yes, we've talked about like this weird thing in the animated series that there is like Batman merchandise.
Yes, there is something there. Like people can purchase things, and I guess somebody made a poster of it. But what was interesting about this scene though is and then especially knowing the twist is the fact that obviously these two have worked together before, and when they're talking, you can almost see that Wormwood is going, why is this guy like putting his hand out to shake my hand?
Yes.
He puts his hand on my shoulder. Like, he's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you acting different than usual? That's what I kind of was like. I even rewound it. I'm like, just this scene, because I'm like, knowing the twist, because I totally forgot about the twist until he showed up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's how this episode ends. Duh. And then I was just watching the scene play out. And yeah, Wormwood is like kind of confused, like the way that he's acting.
I know it's great. And then of course I love it sets up this recurring theme throughout the episode, which is Wormwood asking the Baron,
like, why?
Why
do you want the cowl and the cape? Why?
And then I always love it how the Baron's response is, well, tell me about the bearer bonds.
Yeah, the bearer bonds. Like, where are those going to be at? You tell me a secret, I'll tell you my secret. And of course he doesn't do that. They don't do it. And yeah, it's a good little setup. Like, I actually like this scene and how they crafted the scene where it sets it up even more for that twist at the end. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so I get all that, and then yeah, I even wrote that Wormwood is noticeably uncomfortable. I'm like, is he just there's something weird going on.
Something was off, and
yeah, something was off.
He just didn't know what it was. And I love the fact that even animation wise, they set that up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the clues are there to let you know what the twist is going to be.
And then we get the first little riddle from, of course, when Gordon has, on top of the precinct with the bat signal. And
which, by the way, new toy. Introduction of the bat signal.
That's the first time we have seen it, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Batman even says, new toy.
That's right. I totally didn't even catch that. Jeez. There you go. And I love that, because I think we were kind of talking about, like, when does the signal make its first appearance?
Well, we've been talking about since we're watching these chronologically by production orders. Like, when are these weird firsts that you don't realize that they're firsts until you watch them like we are? And first time the bat signal shows up.
First time the bat signal. There you go. And then of course, he gets a riddle. And this is where he throws a little shade, like, he basically says, don't you? Like obviously Gordon's like, what the hell does that mean? And Batman's like, don't you know what it is? Or he says something like that. But yeah, a little shade. Yeah, a little sassiness from bats. I like it. I like the sassy bat. I don't know.
I think at one point it's obvious, isn't it?
Is that what he says? Obvious.
Well, no, one time he says something like it's obvious, isn't it? And then another time, it's the one for the wax museum. Gordon goes, do you know what it means? And he just goes, don't you?
I think that's that's when it was. But the first one is leading him to a place like called Train Town, which is a bunch, I mean, I guess is this like, it's not is it a train station, or is it a place where just old train? I was kind of like wondering about.
Oh, well, it's like, being a father, I'm very aware of these places. Basically, you take these old, like, decommissioned train yards, and they become like train museums.
Okay, that's what I had a feeling it was.
That you take your kids. It's like going to see the Chattanooga Choo Choo, or Great Smoky Mountain Railroad. It's like, this is where trains used to work, but now that we don't use trains as much, instead of getting rid of the trains, they just charge you admission.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You might. Yeah, that's right. Capitalism, baby. That's what it's all about. But Batman shows up, and he, walking through, and then he gets trapped in a train car. And I love the fact that when everything's like locking him in, and he uses a batarang to like
wedge it in right there.
To wedge like one particular one, and then there's the damsel in distress tied up on the tracks, and she's screaming and blah blah blah, and that's the whole ultimatum. Like, that Wormwood is like, hey, give me your cape and cowl, and I'll make sure that she's fine. But then of course Batman challenges him, gets through the window, and then it's a hologram. So he also has holograms.
I know. It's it goes back to the fact of, what era are we in? What is and is not technology in this weird Gotham world of the animated series?
I know. It's like there's holograms too, and apparently,
And the funny thing is, the idea of a woman tied to the tracks, I think, is actually part of the riddle.
Is it? Okay, because I'm trying to remember what the riddle was. I didn't write it down or anything, but
I just remember something like "and children come
orange.
to toot" is the one point. So that lets you
Yeah.
know, give you a hint. But I feel like if I remember the riddle correctly, there's the first part before it gets to the children toot their horns or something
Something like that. Yeah.
is something about, I feel like, about, the classic, woman tied on the tracks deal. So
Yeah. 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 But yeah, I was actually I was thinking about writing like what the riddle said, just to kind of decipher it ourselves. But I'm like, they already do it in the freaking show. We don't need to do that. But so then, of course, obviously Wormwood wasn't successful, and I forgot how he got away. How did he get away? He got away, right? Oh,
I
obviously
just drove off.
He just drove off, right? And you see Batman just watching him go away, and then of course he gets into a phone booth, which again, you have holograms, you have phone booths.
Your televisions are black and white.
It's all over the place. That's what I love about it, though. I do like that aspect of it because we've talked about it how many times, like, when does this take place? But and it's funny because Wormwood right here is even he's kind of up, like he's frustrated, but he's like a little, I don't know, just the way that he's talking to him and saying that, he didn't get it quite yet. And it was almost like he was a little, I don't know, amped up the fact that he wasn't successful this first time. But of course,
you get the idea that Wormwood doesn't have to go through multiple traps. Like he's usually like a one and done kind of guy.
Yeah.
And so now it's like,
it's a little frustrated. Yeah, it was a little frustrated. Yeah. He's a little frustrated, but he goes, "Oh, but I'll get him this time." Like, he was just like, he knows 100% that he's gonna get Batman this time. And then I love the fact that when we get the next riddle, it's like written on like a billboard. Isn't it like written on a billboard right outside the precinct?
Right outside the precinct. Like Gordon's literally looking out his window and reading the riddle.
I mean, did nobody? I mean, I guess maybe he did it really late at night or something and just kind of put it out there.
Gotham City. I mean, seriously.
I know the freaking city never sleeps, of course. So I don't know, but it made for a little cool little, shot of the fact that Batman's on the ledge and Gordon, of course, is reading it. And then they're, and then Batman busts his balls again about not knowing the answer. It's still a cool scene.
Those famous people standing together. There's a wax museum. What else would it be? Here's
something like that, right?
Oh, wait, which by the way, because we know the twist. Come on, Batman. That you didn't even have to figure that one out. I mean, seriously,
not at all. You knew it was coming. And then, of course, yes, it is the wax museum, and he shows up. There, and then the trap now is the fact that he's got this 20,000 watt halogen bulb that's just basically, well, it melts wax, of course, and eventually it will melt you. Yeah.
Oh, this scene is legitimately creepy. Like all the wax melting. And
even though with the music, it does have a creepy it kind of does that. Shirley Walker, of course, beautiful with her scores. But yeah, it gets a little creepy with that, and
it's got it makes that wet noise like we talked about with Clayface. It's
a little bit that. Yeah, they do good with the sound effects. Although there's one sound effect that happens later. I went, well, that was interesting, but anyway.
I can't wait to hear what this.
It was just something I noticed. I was like, that sounded okay. It sounded more like something else, but anyways, no, but yeah, it's funny too because Batman. I love the fact that he throws like his utility belt after
and it just
wrestling around. Yeah, after wrestling around trying to get out of this place. Now he's got wax on him, and then he throws his utility belt at it. And I love how Wormwood is just kind of just like going, "Oh, maybe that will work," or he's kind of just like egging him on, like, "Ooh, Batman, is that gonna?" And just kind of being a dick, of course.
Yes.
Yeah. And of course, it doesn't work. It just bounces right off. But then, of course, it's just funny how the wax figures fully melt away, and essentially just you see like the skeleton of it, and it's straight out of spear. It's just a spear.
It's just a spear. It's a javelin.
Yeah, and it's like dun, 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 dun. It's like, and then he throws it right there. But backup plan. There's some nerve gas that's going to start pouring through there. Toxic. He says toxic nerve gas that's coming through. And
is it all nerve gas toxic?
Yeah, but they had to. I think they had to mention that just to add a little bit more to it. I don't know. Yeah, because there's no such thing as non-toxic nerve gas. Yeah, I don't think so.
And of course, Batman's already thrown his utility belt, so he can't grab the gas mask that he always has on him.
Right. So see, they were thinking when they were making this episode, they were like, okay, how do we get it where eventually Batman does have to give the cowl? And this is the scene that we'll watch right here because, it was kind of cool because the first time watching, you're going, okay, so how is he going to keep his identity? And, but it's Batman. He had a backup plan. But also when you see, when it's the twist, you kind of go, well,
He
of
needed
course
to
he had
lose.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like he was already like prepared to eventually give it away here, but it's still a kind of a cool scene, kind of a cool reveal, or when he actually does it right here. So here we go.
Oh, there's some other grunts I'm going to talk about later, by the way.
Right. Oh yeah, there's I even wrote it down too.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, the grunt.
Oh, I called it angry growls were hilarious.
Actually, no.
Right. And I love the fact that in this mask, of course, naturally you could see his pupils.
Because it's the Daredevil mask.
Right? I know. That's exactly what I thought too. A second mask.
Not as confident as we'd seem then, are we?
He's so... Keep your
silly identity. These are all I require.
Yeah. And then it's like, all right, there's my utility belt. I got you this time. But it's just kind of funny because knowing the twist, you kind of go, well, you really think you're going to get him?
Right here.
Yeah.
Like what? That was a choice, Conroy. That was a choice.
You kind of want to see the behind the scenes of that one where they were just like, yeah, just give some grunts right here, and he just went, rah, rah. but at the same time, you're like, you already know that you're gonna probably see him later, and you're gonna reveal that you, of course, were.
It's kind of like the same people who want to criticize The Dark Knight Rises when Bale does that. I love the scene when Catwoman disappears. He's like, that's what that feels like. And everyone's like, dude, why are you doing the voice? It's
I know. I've even said that too. There's like even times where everybody around you knows you're Batman. So just talk normal, relax your vocal cords a little bit. But but the psyche of Batman, I mean, we've talked about that even with this is like, when he's in the cave, when he's in the costume, he brings it down. He's not Bruce Wayne.
He goes down.
Yeah, because that's his other, that's his alter ego. That's that he's totally just sinks into that character. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's funny too. I think it's mainly because when people talk about that in Dark Knight Rises, it's just because Bale's voice can get a little, over the top slightly.
Where's the trigger?
Yeah, we're hockey bats. Yeah, especially that scene. He must have friends. I'm like, whoa. I just kind of went, just back it up a little bit. In Batman Begins, Bale, in Batman Begins, your voice was good, but man, in Dark Knight, it got a little whoo at times, and maybe it was just partly the mask that was like pulling his lip up. I don't know. Anyways, there we go. I am kind of wondering though. Still, we're still in the Batman talk, but when it comes to Robert Pattinson and his Bat voice, I mean, he kind of brings it down a little bit too. He doesn't go growly,
right?
But he brings it down. But then I'm kind of wondering, well, what's his Bruce kind of sound like? Because that last trailer that just came out, The Bat and the Cat, I'm sure you watched it. Did you watch
of course, yes.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of get a little bit Bruce Wayne-esque, and it almost is like, is he still just not talking? I don't know. There's something very interesting that when it comes to this version of Batman, Pattinson's Batman, that I'm really digging. I think I like in what Matt Reeves is like going, hey, this is a Bruce Wayne that doesn't know how to be Bruce Wayne yet. He knows how to be Batman. He knows how to be Batman 100%. He's obsessed by being Batman. It's looking like, but he doesn't know how to be Bruce Wayne. That's when you had that mayor lady saying like, hey, you're Bruce Wayne. Why aren't you doing anything?
And he's just looking at her like, why are you talking to me?
Exactly. So that's what I'm kind of digging, like, when it comes to the Batman, is the fact that Matt Reeves is going, he doesn't know he knows how to be Batman, doesn't know how to be Bruce Wayne yet. And I'm like, that's different. I like it.
Yes. Yep.
I'm
exactly.
But when it comes to this, we didn't get a Bruce Wayne in this episode.
We didn't. No, yeah, we got angry growls.
We got angry growls. So obviously we have Wormwood shows up at the Baron's penthouse or whatever, and shows like, hey, I got it. And then the reveal finally happens where, why did you want this? And it's like, I love it how it's like that. He turns the chair and then it does with the music. And then he just like, you see
he emerges from the chair.
Because I want to wear it. And I'm just kind of going, all right, cool. But how short was the Baron? And how was he able to pull that off? But hey, semantics. We don't need to know.
I still love the fact that the voice changes from John Rhys Davies to Kevin Conroy. It's cool.
And then he throws like the mask down. Like that's all it was just a mask.
It was Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was like a very Mission Impossible-esque, I guess you could say. So then of course it doesn't end right there, but we have a little bit of a fight that ends up in like a little gym,
And this has always been the part where the episode kind of loses my interest. It's like once the Cape and Cowl part is done, it's kind of like, okay.
Do we really need more? And I was thinking that too. And I was thinking like when I thought about which scene which clip we would watch, I'm like, should I have the clip where they're fighting with the big, huge barbells?
Oh my goodness, I wrote that down. I was like, fighting with dumbbells. Those suckers are heavy.
Well, I mean, first off, the noise that I was kind of like, well, that's weird. He like takes the pin out to use the cable, and it literally sounded like a gun like being cocked. They're like that. I went, that's not what that
sounds like.
Yeah, it went, and I'm like, oh wow, that was an interesting sound effect they put right there because he uses that cable first to knock
like a whip.
Yeah, to use a whip because he's got the key, because obviously that's Wormwood revealed that I'm gonna meet up with this guy so and so. It's in this locker right here where these bonds are and everything like that, which is with the whole reason why Batman dressed up. But and then they just have this whole little fight off thing in a gym, and it's just kind of like, those barbells are freaking heavy, man. I guess Wormwood's pretty strong
for a skinny little dude.
Yeah.
My favorite part, though, is that when he swims to the bottom of the swimming pool to get the key, and he comes up, and the Batman just grabs him by the head. Yes! The look on his face was just like,
yeah. I totally wrote that too. It was like how he just grabs him by the head, and he just got this look on his face, like, here, like he's just like, I can't get away from you. You literally are pulling me up by my head. So I know it was just. It's just kind of funny. Like, okay, it was like, first off, you guys were battling out with barbells, and then all of a sudden you're just manhandling the shit out of this dude now. But hey, it's whatever. And then of course, we see him getting arrested, and this is where Batman reveals that Yosek, or the Baron, is vacationing in Europe, obviously, which goes back to him talking about taking an extended vacation,
which was great because you're like, oh yeah, he's been gone this entire time, but Batman used the idea of him, like the way they structured the episode when Magan wrote it was he structured to make it sound like this felt like it was a revenge plot from the Baron. Like, you embarrassed me, and I think that's cool when you go back and you realize how it's structured. So this episode has got some rewatch value to it.
It's got some rewatch value. It's not terrible. It just has some moments where you're like, okay.
And the animation is not
top
best. No, it's not top notch.
No spectrum. And then of course we get the very end where Wormwood's in jail, and Gordon's kind of like, oh, you got a gift here, and it's a cool little send off because the gift is from Batman, saying like, hey, this is, I guess he gives him like a little riddle himself, talking about
keeping warm at night.
Yeah, and it's the Cape and Cowl, and he's just like, and of course, and then I love how it reveals when the letter like unfolds and it goes and it reveals the bat symbol, and it's like, dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's a good episode because it's not nothing from the Rogues Gallery. These are characters that it's a character that Batman knew, and he knew pretty much how to trap him, and just and like I said, when the reveal happens, it's a good reveal, but I think the fight in the gym, okay, it's whatever.
It just feels like it goes on. It's like
I think they just felt like they needed something else, because it is a kid show. It is a kid show, so why not have, got to have an end fight scene. You can't just have this crazy reveal and then not have a fight scene. I don't know, but I can understand why they put it there, but it's just when you're watching it as an adult, you're like, I didn't need it. I didn't need it.
I'm gonna be honest, as a kid, didn't need it.
Really,
it just feels like it's over and done with. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this episode and The Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne, for some reason, those two episodes always get kind of like I know I never get them confused, but they're always just so similar, and I don't, but then they're not. But
I'm trying to remember that episode too. Like
that's the one with Hugo Strange.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I can understand. I mean, sometimes there's episodes that kind of maybe remind you of different. I mean, that's gonna happen where like there's certain episodes that kind of feel, I guess, the same. So
yeah, it's weird. I don't know why, because they're really not the same. But for some reason in my head, like my childhood memory, it's like those two episodes are like
kind of intertwined with each other.
They're intertwined for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. It happens, but yeah, like I said, not a bad episode. But it's decent. It's good. I mean, it's got Riddler vibes to it that I thought, and it's funny too. I think as a kid, I thought at first that it was the Riddler, because even like the way that they drew him,
he does look a little.
He does look like Edward.
Yes,
yeah, he does. That's why I was like, oh yeah, this episode, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, I think as a kid, I actually at first thought it was a Riddler, but then realized obviously it wasn't, because he never gets into a costume or anything like that. But yeah, he's got like a little. It's got a They were. I'm kind of wondering, like, when they decided to draw him, like, did they want it to make it seem like that? That's what I was curious about with the whole thing too, is like that the fact that they kind of drew him similar to Edward. I don't know.
Yeah, because Enigma's character design not too far off from this guy.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, like, a backstory on that whole thing. But yeah, but there you go, guys. There's the Cape and the Cowl Conspiracy. Anything else to add, Scott?
Not really. Like I said, it's a decent episode. We're not talking, I got Batman in my basement, but we're also not talking, for me personally, we're not talking like Heart of Ice or Clayface Part 2
or the episode that we're going to be doing
next week.
Yes, exactly. I got goosebumps. Robin's Reckoning Part 1.
Oh yeah. No, this is a top 5. Top 5.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh my god. Man. What a freaking Emmy. I mean,
they won. Yeah, of course. I mean, jeez. Just to get this backstory and the way that it plays out, this is going to be a total, like, these next two episodes of Batman the Fan-imated, because we'll do part 1 and then the following weekend we'll do part 2. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to just even like dive into this. We'll probably have notes like crazy and just kind of, oh man.
Oh my god. No, there is so much, especially part 1. This is definitely another one of the cases where one part is stronger than the other. Yeah. And I've always felt that way ever since I was a kid, because part 1's got Spectrum animation. The story is tighter.
Mm-hmm.
The back and forth between past and present is really cool. And I'm going to be honest, this was the episode that taught me Robin's backstory.
Yeah, I think I would probably agree with you, because it's like, yeah, you knew who Robin was, but did you really dive deep when we were kids, like into like any of that? No, you watched the 66 Batman, you knew that there was a Robin,
and that's all you got was Burt Ward, and like
much.
You don't know why he's
Robin.
Yeah. Robin. You don't know why he's Bruce Wayne's Ward. Yeah. And I really feel like Robin's Reckoning was like, oh, this is his story.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait. It's gonna be great. So we'll do that, and it'll probably most likely be Sunday, because I do have something happening next Saturday. So we'll talk about if you could do next Sunday.
We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk as we do, because I got a birthday party that's gonna be happening.
Dude, everyone has birthdays.
I mean, right now. It's just happening, like it's all like happening in the span of everything right now. And it was like, oh yeah, I got that next week. So we're probably gonna have to either push it to Sunday, or I think we'll probably do Sunday. Maybe we should just change it to Sunday.
I know. Do you feel? I mean, it's so
we might have to. Sometimes Saturdays can be a little rough, but I don't know. We'll talk, and we'll let you guys know for sure. Go ahead, Scott. Send us off.
Of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You can find my podcast, the DC Squawkcast, where a podcast can be found. Our latest episode was Tim and me breaking down the Bat and the Cat trailer for The Batman. Of course, we're on Vero, Facebook, YouTube, and the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com. I do want to do a special plug that if you join our Patreon over at patreon.com/squadcastmedia with $5 a month, get you access to exclusive RSS feed. We just dropped our first in a special series of Patreon Squadcast Movies episodes where Tim and I discuss the 1979 Ridley Scott classic Alien.
Nice. That'd be a good one right there. And yeah, guys, make sure you smash that like, thumbs up before you leave. Subscribe to the channel. Join if you want to become a member. And then, of course, you got the Patreon right there if you want to support the channel like that. And the merchandise down below, which you can get yourself a Batman the Fan-imated stream shirt if you want, if you want us, on your chest, which I always say, and it always just sounds awkward, but it's true. Anyway, yes, we will see you next week. And Robin's Reckoning. We'll see you then. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.